The power of music on the children's brain. Why learning an instrument is fundamental. Quick read. Key points of the article. Psychomotor development. Playing a musical instrument stimulates fine motor coordination, laterality, and fine motor planning through coordinated finger and hand movements. Creative capacity. Musical practice expands brain plasticity, opening innovative neural pathways and developing artistic expression and cognitive improvisation. Sensitivity and joy. Learning music nurtures the love of art, promotes the production of neurotransmitters related to well-being, and provides a more joyful and expressive life. Empathize with differences. The collective dynamics of an orchestra teaches that each individual sound matters, and that harmony is only built through respect for differences and cooperative work. When we observe a child playing a musical instrument, whether strumming a guitar, pressing the keys on a keyboard, or marking the rhythm on a small drum, we are not just witnessing a moment of leisure. Contemporary neuroscience and psychopedagogy confirm that music acts as one of the most powerful tools for the global development of the child's brain. Unlike passive activities, playing an instrument requires the simultaneous engagement of practically all brain areas. Vision, hearing, touch, and fine motor control work in harmony, creating new synaptic bridges. Musical learning goes far beyond mastering sheet music. It prepares children for a more balanced, creative, and empathetic life. Music and psychomotor development. The body in tune. Child psychomotor development involves the ability to control the body in a coordinated and conscious way. Learning to play an instrument requires a motor refinement that few other activities provide. Fine motor coordination. Pressing the strings of a violin or strumming the keys of a piano requires isolated and precise control of each finger, which directly stimulates the motor cortical areas responsible for writing and other delicate manual tasks. Bilateral integration. Playing the drums, for example, requires the left hand to make a completely different movement than the right hand, while the feet keep time. This independence of the limbs strengthens communication between the cerebral hemispheres through the corpus callosum. Body awareness and posture. The instrumentalist needs to understand their body in space, learning to relax muscle groups that are not being used to avoid tension and coordinate breathing appropriately to the required rhythm. Fuel for creativity and cognition. Music is an abstract and creative language par excellence. When musically stimulated, the child develops what scientists call cognitive flexibility. She learns to see patterns from new angles, to experiment and improvise. This constant exercise of improvisation and composition develops authorship of thought. Children involved with music tend to have greater ease in solving complex problems, thinking outside the box, and better expressing their own ideas and feelings nonverbally. A more joyful and art-sensitive life. We live in a hyper-stimulated world, where rush and digital screens often generate early anxiety. Musical practice acts as an emotional anchor. When playing an instrument, the child needs to be entirely present in the moment, natural mindfulness. This attentive focus and gradual achievement of making sound from the instrument releases dopamine and endorphins, promoting a genuine feeling of capability and joy. Furthermore, music refines an individual's aesthetic and artistic sensitivity. The child begins to perceive sound nuances, textures, and rhythms around them, developing a more poetic and less utilitarian view of the world. The orchestra metaphor, empathy, and respect for differences. One of the most fascinating aspects of learning music lies in the cooperative nature of collective activities. When we put several children playing together, one of the greatest citizenship lessons that education can offer emerges. In an orchestra or musical band, no instrument is self-sufficient. The violin needs the silence of the cello. The flute gains prominence through the support of the piano. Collective harmony depends on joint effort. Active listening training. To play in a group, it's not enough to do your own part. It is essential to listen to the other person, adjust your own volume to theirs, and understand if the rhythm is synchronized. This is empathy in practice. Valuing differences. Each instrument has its own timbre, history, limitations, and strengths. The music celebrates these differences, showing that the high sound and the low sound have the same importance for the final beauty of the work. How can parents encourage music in children? Don't force the choice. Let your child explore different sounds. Take her to discover string, wind, and percussion instruments. allowing her to feel a natural affinity for one of them. Value the process, not perfection. At first, the sounds will be out of tune and clumsy. Praise persistence, focus, and playing with sound, and avoid turning practice into a rigid school task. Create a rich sound environment. Listen to instrumental music in different genres at home. Talk about the sounds of the instruments in the tracks and promote shared listening. Conclusion. Investing in children's musicalization is offering the child a passport to a richer and more sensitive inner life. By mastering the technique of an instrument, the little one learns patience, physical resilience, and self-discipline. By sharing this sound with the world, it develops listening, respect for other people's time, and empathy. Whether in school orchestra performances or simple family singing, music connects minds and hearts, transforming child development into a true symphony of learning, emotional health, and shared joy. By the author of Coffee. If this content was useful to you, consider supporting the maintenance of the blog by purchasing a symbolic coffee for the author. Scan the code above or copy the Pix key below.